All right, what's going on with Jimmy Butler and the Heat? I know that's an open-ended question, but what is happening? What is happening? He pissed Pat Riley off, and Pat's just like, I'm in charge?
Well, yeah, he's been doing that for a month now. The latest twist, though, with the suspension for walking out of shoot-around, which is an indefinite suspension, strategically said by the Heat to be at least 5 games, which takes them up to the February 6th trade deadline, ensuring that he will not be back until the deadline comes and goes. That is, from what I've been told, that's been a needle mover. Because if you had asked me the question on Friday, if Jimmy Butler would be with Miami beyond the trade deadline, my answer would have been yes. Because the asking price for Butler around the league has been pretty high. It's been some combination of draft picks, young players. They don't want any contracts that go beyond 2026 when their books are relatively clean, except for Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. So teams weren't, that deal wasn't out there for them. Since this latest suspension, when I talk to other teams around the league, the sense they're getting is that price has gone down, meaning maybe a little less draft capital, a little less in terms of young talent. They still want the contracts to come off the books. They want to maintain that cap flexibility. But the asking price has gone down to the point where I think that one way or the other, come February 5th or February 6th in the morning, they're going to find a way to move Jimmy Butler off the roster.
What started this thing?
Money. It's always money. I mean, well, at least with Jimmy, it's been money. Look, you go into last offseason, Jimmy Butler is eligible for a 2-year, $113 million extension. He's still eligible for that right now. They could offer it today, and he could sign it. The Heat didn't want to do it. And I completely understand why. Like, they're not in a place where signing Jimmy Butler, who would begin that extension at age 37, makes any sense to them. Look, Jimmy has been a phenomenal player for them in the postseason during this kind of 5-year run with Miami, but the last couple of years, he's been injured. He's had some clashes with Pat Riley. There's no reason for Miami, which is building its roster around a group of mid-20-somethings like Bam Adebayo and Tyler and Jaime Jaquez as well, why they would give him that type of extension. So Butler could have done one of two different things. He could have just played hard, tried to prove he was worth the extension, just put his head down and play. Or he could do the George Costanza, which is, I'm going to try to get my way out of here one way or the other. And he's kind of done that. Like he's
taken the morning train?
He's forced Miami's hand, and he's put them in this position where they're probably going to have to deal him for 50 cents on the dollar, if that's what it comes to. But this is entirely about money. It's not about winning. It's not about where you want to live. It's not about whatever situation. Jimmy Butler wants to go to the place that is going to gives him the best chance of landing that 2-year extension on his next deal.
Kevin Love's Instagram feed.
Phenomenal. His content is king.
He is on fire right now with his daily video clips describing what's happening with Jimmy Butler and the Heat. I cannot emphasize how entertaining Kevin Love's Instagram feed is over the last couple of weeks.
He's pulling scenes out of every movie. Yeah, right? Casino, Godfather, I think, was in that mix.
Oh my God.
Training Day was yesterday.
Training Day, yeah, that was a good one. Training Day was right after he left shoot around before. I mean, I don't like look, Kevin Love's now at the back end of his career on basically a minimum contract. He's just having a good time now with this situation.
I'll just come out and obviously I have my ear to the ground in the business. I'm hearing Amazon's interested in hiring him for the NBA. If that's something he wants to do and go into television, and his Instagram account is as brilliant as it. But it does appear to be accurate too, right? Like all of it appears to be pretty much dead on accurate.
I think it is accurate. Right. I think he's making light of a situation that isn't really that light, though, inside the Miami walls. I mean, look, the Heat, for a lot of reasons, they need to make the playoffs this year because, it's kind of complicated to get into, but like their draft capital, if they make the playoffs, their first round draft pick conveys to Oklahoma City, with like every pick.
Nice.
But if it doesn't convey, it kind of makes things more difficult for this team to do deals down the line because they also owe a first round pick to Charlotte in a couple of years. So they want to find a way to get into that playoff mix. And the uncertainty surrounding Jimmy Butler is really complicated now. Like even without Jimmy Butler, they still have a pretty good chance of making a run at the postseason. You saw they beat the Magic the other night. They're a solid team when they're at full strength without Butler, but they can't have this distraction infecting their team beyond this February 6th deadline.
So then where does he go? Where does he wind up, do you think?
Look, Phoenix is the team that desperately wants him. And Phoenix is the team Jimmy Butler wants to go to because Matt Ishbia, the owner of the Phoenix Suns, is the most likely of the 30 owners to give him a 2-year extension. Because Matt Ishbia is all in on winning a championship or at least competing for one with Kevin Durant, with Devin Booker, with the current group of players there. The problem is that Bradley Beal is maybe the most untradeable player in the NBA right now because he's got 2 years, over $100 million left on his contract after this season. He's also got a no-trade clause, so if you're Bradley Beal and they turn around and say, all right, we got a deal where we can get Jimmy Butler, I'm going to trade Bradley Beal to Charlotte. Bradley Beal's going to say no. But what I've been told with Beal is that unless he's being traded to a contender, he is going to veto that trade. So the Phoenix wants him. Miami would like to trade him there, but there really isn't much of a pathway for that to happen. Now, with the asking price going down, it has opened things up to some other teams. I think Golden State is probably going to get back into the mix here. I think Memphis is a team to watch because they have a lot of the things that the Heat are looking for when it comes to short contracts, decent young talent, draft picks. So I think the pool has widened a little bit over the last 48 hours, and I think Miami's going to choose from one of those teams to trade him to.
So you think it's going to get done?
I do, and I don't know that it's going to get done to a place that Jimmy Butler necessarily wants to go to, right? Like and I've reported this in the past, like he's been telegraphing that, Memphis don't want to go there. Sacramento don't want to go there. But it may teams may say, you know what? We'll take a flyer on him this year. If he wants to opt out of his contract at $52 million next year, well, that's the price we pay. I actually think Memphis is a good destination for him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I hear you.
Memphis was all in on Dorian Finney-Smith for a while. The Lakers jumped in and wound up getting him. They need a wing defender, proven guy in the postseason. You think about the grit and grind Grizzlies. They're a little bit different than what they used to be, but they still have got Ja Morant and Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson. They've got some tough physical guys on that team. Jimmy would fit right into that culture down there. I mean, if I'm Memphis and I'm sitting there, I think, they're 2-3 right now in the Western Conference. If the price is right, I would take a swing at Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I think that led to a Scarface posting from Kevin Love in response to Jimmy's not going to go to Memphis.
He's enjoying himself. I'll give him that.
Gosh. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.